Hey there, welcome to this video on how to start budgeting. I'm so excited to share this with you because learning how to budget completely transformed my financial life, and I know it can do the same for you. Today, I'm going to walk you through a simple, practical approach to budgeting that will set you on a path to financial freedom. So let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a budget? Simply put, a budget is a plan for your money. That's it. Nothing complicated or scary about that. The key principle to remember is that income minus expenses should equal savings, not debt. When you're spending less than you earn, the difference goes towards building your future rather than digging yourself into a hole. The purpose of a budget is to align your spending with your goals and values. It's about making intentional choices with your money instead of wondering where it all went at the end of the month. Most people find monthly budgets work the best since they match how we typically get paid and how most bills are structured. But remember, the best budget is the one that works for you. So, why should you care about budgeting? Let me share 5 important benefits. First, financial awareness. Budgeting helps you understand exactly where your money goes, which is eye-opening for most people. Second, goal achievement. Did you know that people who budget reach their financial targets about twice as fast as those who don't? That's because they're intentionally directing money towards those goals. Third, stress reduction. Having a plan eliminates that constant financial anxiety many of us feel about money. Fourth, debt prevention. When you plan your spending, you're much less likely to rely on credit cards or loans to cover shortfalls. And finally, future security. Budgeting helps build protection from life's inevitable surprises. Here's something interesting. People who budget save 18% more on average than those who don't. That could mean retiring years earlier or reaching your financial goals that much sooner. Remember, budgeting equals freedom to spend on what matters to you. It's not about restriction, it's about intention. Now, let's bust some common myths that might be holding you back. Myth 1. Budgeting means no fun. The reality, you actually budget for fun things. A good budget includes money for entertainment, dining out, hobbies, whatever brings you joy. The difference is you're spending guilt-free because you planned for it. Myth 2. You need to be a math genius. Not at all. If you can do basic addition and subtraction, you have all the math skills you need. Myth 3. It takes too much time. Once you're set up, maintaining a budget takes about 15 minutes a week. That's less time than most of us spend scrolling through social media in a single day. Myth 4. It's only for people in debt. This couldn't be further from the truth. Everyone benefits from budgeting. In fact, many millionaires are meticulous budgeters. That's part of how they build and maintain their wealth. Before we jump into creating your budget, there are 4 preparation steps that will set you up for success. Step 1, track your expenses for 2 weeks at a minimum, and if you're really ambitious, go for 4. You need real data about your spending habits, not guesses. Step 2, gather all your recent statements. Take your last 12 months of bank accounts, credit cards, bills, subscription lists, everything. Step 3, be honest about your habits. This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. Maybe you spend more on takeout than you realize. That's not bad, it's just information. Step 4, set realistic goals. What do you want your money to do for you? Your budget should reflect your priorities. Now, let's start building your budget by calculating what's coming in, your money in, your income. First of all, list all of your income sources, salaries, side hustles, investments, anything that brings you money in. Focus on your net income. That's actually what hits your bank account after taxes and deductions. Your gross salary might look impressive, but your budget needs to work with what you actually have available. If your income varies month to month, create monthly averages based on your past earnings. Look at your patterns over time to establish a reliable figure. In these cases, you should use more than 12 months. Maybe look at your income for the last 2 to 3 years. Finally, only rely on reliable income. If you occasionally sell items online or do sporadic gig work, it's better to treat that money as a bonus rather than counting on it for essential expenses. Next, let's get clear on where your money has been going. Start by gathering all your financial documents if you haven't already in the previous step. Bank statements, credit card bills, receipts, payment apps, everything. Review your spending for the past 2 to 3 months minimum and identify patterns. 1 month might have an unusual expense, but several months will show you what's typical for your lifestyle. Now, categorize those expenses. Common categories include housing, food, transportation, utilities, entertainment, personal care, and debt payments. But don't forget about those sneaky annual or quarterly expenses. Things like insurance premiums, property taxes, membership renewals, seasonal costs like holiday gifts, birthday gifts. These can throw off your budget if you don't plan for them. As you organize your spending, group similar expenses together into categories that make sense for your life. Don't forget, as you organize your expenses, you'll want to group them logically. Different types of expenses require different approaches in your budget. Fixed expenses stay roughly the same each month, like rent, car payments, and insurance, some subscriptions, loan payments. Variable expenses change month to month, including things like groceries, utilities, gas. And occasional expenses don't happen every month, but are still predictable. Things like car maintenance, holiday gifts, and annual renewals, vacations. Now, what are you actually budgeting for? Setting clear goals gives your budget purpose. Short-term goals are things you want to accomplish within the next year. Building an emergency fund, paying off a credit card, or taking a vacation. Those all typically happen maybe every 12 months. Long-term goals look further ahead. Think retirement savings, a home down payment, education funding. While you're making your goals, make sure that they're SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Instead of saying, save more money, try save $3,000 for a vacation by December. Since you'll likely have multiple goals, prioritize them. You can't do everything at once, so decide what matters most right now. Now for the practical part, actually creating your budget. A great starting point is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income goes to the needs, that's minimum living expenses, things like housing, groceries, transportation. 30% to wants. Think things like entertainment, dining out, hobbies. And 20%, the remaining, to savings and debt repayment above the minimum repayment. Note, this isn't rigid. It's just a helpful framework to begin with. Allocate every dollar to give each one a purpose. The zero-based approach means your income minus all planned expenses and savings equals zero. Make sure your budget balances. Total expenses and savings should not exceed your income. If they do, you'll need to make adjustments. That would either be by making more income or cutting costs or expenses. But one of the most important aspects of successful budgeting is building in flexibility, especially through an emergency fund. If you don't have one of these yet, start modest at $1,000 starting fund. Then work towards the next goal of saving 3 months of expenses. And then finally, eventually, 6+ months of expenses for true security. If you have variable income or are worried about economic instability, an even larger fund makes sense. Remember, emergencies will happen. Car repairs, medical bills, home maintenance. Having this fund means they're inconveniences, not financial disasters. Once you've created your budget, you need a system to implement it. Make sure to choose a method that works for you personally. Spreadsheets, envelopes, apps, there's no best method. The right one is the one you're actually using consistently. And set up automation where possible. Automatic bill payments prevent late fees, and automatic transfers to savings makes building your emergency fund or any other savings fund almost effortless. While that is all well and good, don't forget, a budget needs regular attention to be effective. Schedule weekly check-ins, about 15 minutes to review your spending and make sure you're on track. And once a month, do a much more detailed assessment, about an hour to evaluate your performance and plan for the coming month. As you're reviewing, make necessary adjustments when you see patterns. If you consistently overspend in any one category and underspend in another, your budget may need realignment. That means moving money from one line item to the other. And don't forget to celebrate your successes. Even small wins deserve recognition. They're proof you're making progress. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Now, let me warn you about some common pitfalls in budgeting so you can avoid them. First, unrealistic expectations. Don't expect perfection, especially at first. Your budget, you may go over and you don't expect it. Just work to improve it. Don't panic. Second, forgetting irregular expenses. Those pesky annual and sometime subscriptions or quarterly bills can derail your budget if not planned for. Third, never adjusting your budget as your life changes. A budget is a living, breathing document. It needs to be revised as your life changes. Your income goes up, you change your budget. Your expenses go up in one category and down in another. You need to revise your budget to reflect that. Your priorities change, your budget should change. Fourth, giving up after mistakes. Everyone has months where they go over budget. The key is to learn and continue, not quit. And here are some proven tips to help you succeed. Start simple. Don't overcomplicate your first budget with too many categories. That's why the 50-30-20 rule works so well. Be patient. Give yourself grace. Budgeting is a skill that improves with practice. Avoid comparison. Your budget should reflect your life and priorities, not someone else's. Everybody has a different financial situation. Build in that flexibility. Leave some wiggle room for the unexpected. It'll minimize financial stress and anxiety as well. For categories where you consistently overspend, try what our family does. Use the cash method. There's something about physical money that can help limit spending in problem areas. Finally, here are 3 simple actions you can take right now. Download my budget planner. Track all your expenses for 1 week and schedule your first budget review. Go to your calendar and put that time in. Now, you could do all of these steps by yourself, or you could use a done-for-you budgeting product designed to help you manage your budgeting journey. Many people successfully build their budgeting habit this way. This is a lovely structured approach with everything laid out for you, something that can help walk you through it and make this process seamless. Grab my Smart Budget monthly budget planner. This isn't about tracking numbers, it's a complete system designed to transform your relationship with money. If you liked this content, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to grab my quick start budgeting planner using the link below. That's free. Remember, budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about creating the freedom to live the life you truly want. You've got this, and I'm here to help every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.